Alright, so spawning in the top left corner on King Zhejiang Station, we have our blue Terran player who's currently up by 1. Zrqkyvx.
King Zhejiang Station. Oh, that's entertaining. And in the bottom right, we have our green Zerg player. He needs to take this game or stay in the series. It is Ottr.
Yeah.
So I feel like this map is incredibly good for air units in a lot of ways, especially with that overexposed natural mineral line just kind of sticking its butt straight to the center of the map. I've lost count of the number of times I've had Mutalisks just kind of show up there, kill a few things, walk away, run around to the other side of the map, run past the rocks so I can't do anything to them, and that's some really nice boxes.
Sorry, I couldn't tell. Like it was moving, and I was just like, what is that? Is that like a Zerg unit? But it turns out that it's just a tarp, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay. Oh, so you look like a skinned Zerg unit stretched out over the boxes or something.
Yeah, I thought it was like a Zerg unit or something. It was just like infesting the boxes. I was like, that doesn't make any sense for this map.
That would actually be kind of cool to see like a map that's supposed to be on like a half-infested world. Like maybe, I don't know, Ire.
Oh man, you know it'd be awesome to see like the old space platform maps from like Brood War, but then just have like half of it just infested.
Ooh, that would be kind of interesting. Were those maps like the island maps, the ones you're talking about, or?
Yeah, well, any of the space ones.
Oh, okay.
They kind of
just
had
the theme.
Yeah, they kind of had a tile layout like the raised ground from the natural and the main. But instead of like a white background, like with the snow and everything, like on this map, they just had where all the impassable terrain was. It was space.
Ooh.
Space.
Final Frontier. Okay, so far, kind of the same opening. Interesting building placement from Zrq. I think he actually needs to move the barracks slightly or to use 2 supply depots there. He might actually just be putting the tech add-on. Yeah. Still throws me a little bit whenever anybody does that, because it's actually not the most common thing in the world at this level. Not to say that it, that people don't do it. It's just, you're not likely to see it. So yeah, that's exactly what it's going for.
If I remember correctly, there's something about this map where you can jump a Reaper directly into the main base, very, very carefully.
I think Zrq is attempting to do that, though at the moment he seems to have stopped behind some ice. Just going to hang out for a bit. The Queen might actually get out before it gets up here if he isn't too quick. Yeah, and nope. He's going to be here. Just a few seconds actually until the Queen comes out. See if Otter's a little better about microing the drone this time. Nope, lets one die, but looks like that might be the only one. Lings and the Queen are now out to defend. So a little bit of a better start for our Zerg player than the previous game.
Definitely, yeah. And I mean, that Reaper is going to be able to poke back up here every once in a while, but, all she has to do is leave the Queen right where she did.
Yep.
And just keep injecting from there, and she should be able to keep the Reaper from doing as much damage when he comes back in again.
No, the Reaper's use from this point on is almost, really on any matchup, is almost exclusively to scout. And it does that job very well, given its speed. Zrq's moving to get the wall set up. Looks like he's doing more or less the same thing, actually.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the factory gets the tech lab and starts a reactor on the barracks, so it looks like it's going to be another tank marine type play.
Yep. As far as back as I can remember, this is basically what he's been doing. Maybe sans the tanks the first time I saw him play, but yeah, he loves to do this style of play. Just goes for big push, runs with his units out there trying to run his opponent down. I don't think I've ever seen him do the SCV thing, though. That was new.
That might have also been a case of where he kind of knew that he had the game in the bag, but he just knew that he had it in the bag, so he just sent the SCVs in. I don't know if it's kind of BM or if he just misclicked or if he just said, you only live once in a deconstructive way.
Who knows? Zrq doesn't CV pull? Oh, okay. Now, Nazgul, aka Dead Frogs, aka Fade, who's hanging out in the chat right now, which everyone knows is one of the most aggressive players that plays for our show matches, is Wink. I love you, bro. Like, the thing is, he's saying he doesn't just see people. Like, the way he's saying that makes me think that maybe he's been doing this in practice for a while. It just literally the last time I saw Zrqkyvx play, to be fair, was probably like 4 months ago. So information is certainly dated. You would know better than myself. But Spire, hey, flying units, here we come.
And she does actually have all 4 gas up, so when the Spire finishes, she should be able to pump out. Oh, it's spotted by the
Zrqkyvx sees it immediately. Well, what's his reaction? So far as to just build more Marines, getting the armory up, and well, there's really only 2 things you can do with this, especially when you're going siege tanks like this, and that's have good Marine positioning or start throwing turrets everywhere. He's going for a Raven.
That's interesting.
Seems a bit risky to me, honestly. But I suppose with a good Seeker missile, he could take him out real fast. But it seems like it's relying on luck.
Yeah, the mutas are way, way too fast. And I know, like, personally as a Zerg player, I've kind of trained myself. When I hear that beeping go off from the Seeker missile, I immediately just, like, select the entire army and just right-click on my base to start moving everything back.
Jeez. So basically you hear quing, and your brain just goes, move!
Yeah.
But yeah, we got 1 turret going up in each mineral line. We're looking at about 10 mutas that come out immediately, though. That is enough to focus that down. The point of the really any static defense that you see a Terran or a Protoss building typically is to buy time.
Yep.
It's not necessarily to annihilate the incoming army and prevent it from doing any damage whatsoever. It's to give your army the chance to come back and actually do something about it. Once 2 are up, though, that will actually make it so that the 10 mutas have to take some pretty serious losses to get anything done.
Yeah, but we got
still
attack on the way.
There's still plenty of places to hit, though. Like, you force the turrets out. They don't exactly cover the production buildings, and you keep the Terran in his base. Or at least you should. The Terran is running out onto the map. This seems like a very risky time to do this. Anyway, here comes the Mutalisks.
Looks like Ottr's just kind of getting all of her stuff set. She can actually reach in and grab that siege tank or snipe the tech lab.
Oh, but she's found a bigger weak point, namely the fact that this thing can actually be mass repaired for the DPS of 10 Mutalisks. She really needs to get out of there. She's going to lose all of these Mutalisks if they stay here much longer, because here come the Marines. Run up the ramp. How much damage did that do? 5 workers killed for the price of about
4 mutas.
Ooh,
She's got another 7 on the way. +1 air attack is on the way. It's about halfway done. So, I mean, she could definitely come in. There are plenty of weak spots in the base of Zrqkyvx, and there's a couple of key structures that she can pick off. Mostly, the one that sticks out most is the tech lab on the factory.
More importantly, she's actually getting up at 3rd on the back of this. He's already hit 60-ish, 70-ish now saturation on drones. So she can keep him in his base, frankly. Just macro up. Probably wants to try and deny this attempt at a 3rd, though. Doesn't look like...
If she even knows that it's there.
Yeah, I have a feeling she hasn't picked up on that. Vikings is the response from Zrqkyvx. Vikings?
Vikings are actually a pretty good answer to this. I mean, short of just going mass marine, she's already got the tech in Vikings.
Oh.
And he can just, if he gets enough in there at the same time, he can just
Not paying attention to the Mutalisks, actually getting shot down by the Marines. Ooh. Let's get about half of them. Killed 2 Vikings as well as a turret. And no additional workers. She needs to go north a little bit and see that base.
I think that she might have just caught it with the... yeah, she just barely caught it as she flew by. Now she's
fly up there. Going to shut that down.
Reinforcements getting caught by the
Does force the cancel on the 3rd, which is excellent for Ottr. Looks like Zrqkyvx is just going to hightail it. No, he's trying. Yeah, he's actually getting a little bit of indecision. We almost went south to do something about that. Maybe to consider attacking, but Nope. Instead, focusing on defending up at the main base with on the turret, trying to make sure that all of the SCVs are repairing as they should be. Loses a few more, has a couple of them actually. Oh, they must be rallied onto the army. Ouch. There's the third one. Is he going to get shot too? Yep.
Otter's now back down to 7 Mulisks again. And this makes me sad. Like, as a Zerg player, because the +1 attack's already out, +2 attack is on the way. Otter's upgrades are almost non-existent. I mean, nothing that would help him in this circumstance. I mean, Ottr has this in the bag. If she just, be a little more cognizant of
Don't send them back. Okay. Well, that could just be an attempt to make sure they get some damage done, assuming that they die. A few more running on the back of this. I actually think in this situation would have needed to pull drones, pretty much. There's these handful of Mutalisks are just going to get... Wait, are they actually going to kill the Marines? Just barely no. Oh, maybe... Yes! There's no anti-air with the army anymore. She can kill literally everything.
But it's going to take a while, unless she can get them all there.
Or...
and GG's out. No! She had the advantage. Oh, no.
Probably just assuming that assuming that more Marines were coming. Is unfortunate, really, because 7 more Mutalisks, I think, were about to pop out. And...
Yep, another 7. She would have cleaned up all the siege tanks, and then she could have gone back to work on the base again.
Well, what can you say? I mean, the players don't have all the information that we do when we're watching, so it's easy to make, to miss an opening like that. So definitely. I wouldn't.
But it still makes me hurt. It makes me hurt inside.
It happens.